All right, so there are a number of ways that you can get to docs, just like anything else. You can start by going up here and clicking Docs. This is going to take you into the wide world of docs, where you can start a new document if you want, or if you've got a specific folder where you know you want this doc to end up, you can say New, and you can say Doc. And I'm sharing this folder so it shares the people. It won't always do that if it's your own folder. You can title your doc. So we're going to just test. Okay, so that'll just give it a name when it's in your folder. If you decide, oh, I don't want this doc in this part of my drive, you can move it like this. So let's say I want it to go into my writing class instead. Okay, but I want it in one of these special folders. Then I just say move it here. Or if I go, oh, I just want it in its own folder, you can make a new folder. So you can organize your doc while you're in your doc, or you can simply go into your drive and drag this around wherever you want to. Okay, it's up to you if you do right click on it and move it somewhere. You can also add a star if this is something you know you're going to have to go back to a lot. If you add a star to it, it'll show up over here in your drive in your starred items. Okay, there's lots and lots of options when we are doing docs and moving them around, and pretty much everything to do with the doc. So I do a lot of rubrics for my students, and when I'm grading them, if I open up a rubric, which unfortunately I do pretty frequently, and I just start grading in the rubric, I am grading on the original copy. So what I have to do, I'm just going to show you an example here. This is what I want. Okay. So if I want to make a copy of this rubric for a child, okay, you go File, Make a Copy. And I'm going to title this Falstaff. And of course, you have your own method of naming things. And then you can move it wherever you want. So in my rubrics folder, I have a graded one. And so I organize it all. Before I do anything else, I'm putting it where it needs to go. This is kind of like saving at the end in Microsoft Word. Here we're just saving at the beginning. So if I say select, it's going to, well, we'll just do this so I can show you. And I say OK. So it's going to pop up a new one. My old one is safe. Okay, I'm not going to mess with it. But I have this new one, and in here I can go ahead and start grading. Remember, just some basics. If you want to highlight, you have to go over, click highlight, and then highlight. Unfortunately, there's not like a little pen tool that's easier to drag around and things like that. But that is how you make a copy. And if you mess up and you grade inside a doc and then you realize you did that, because I do that sometimes, you can just go in, open the doc, make a copy of the doc. If you've been highlighting and commenting in your doc, your copy will show the highlights. It will not show the comments. But you can just go in and copy your comments and paste them into the copy that you actually wanted to be commenting in. But it's kind of like Word. If you're ever filling out rubrics in there, you have to make sure that you're saving special copies of it. You just have to make the copy beforehand in Google instead of afterward like in Word. You can also just copy and paste anything from here. So if I wanted to Control A, so I select it all and then copy it, and then I was just going into the student's document and pasting my rubric at the bottom. Same thing. Okay. Okay, so I've made this change, and let's say that I accidentally move this here, like, oh my gosh, I've just made a mess of this. All right, so all changes saved in Drive. So I can go back and I can see different versions of my doc. So 2 minutes ago, oh, it was clean. I hadn't messed up in it yet. I'm going to restore this version. You say, yes, restore, please. And boom, now I have a blank, clean doc. and I can go back to that version. So sometimes that's helpful if you are in the classroom and you have kids editing and working in the classroom. You can do that, see the changes that they made. If you are just having students submit to you via sharing links with you for assignments and you want to see changes that they've made, you can go back to old versions and see. So it highlights, okay, this got deleted and moved here. It shows you all the different versions of a student's work. So it's kind of tracking changes that they made. So if a student is submitting something to you and you want to see what they did, you don't have to restore this version, but maybe it's going to help you in your grading process. Okay. You cannot go in here and comment and things like that, but you can see the changes that they made, which, I mean, I know for me with grading papers, that's super helpful. Even if I can't comment here, at least I know where I'm looking, and it'll tell you how many edits they made, and you can go kind of click through the edits that they made and see what happened. And if you don't want to restore, you just want to go back because now you're ready to grade and comment, there you go. You can. Once you have a document that you want to share, whether it's you sharing it with a student or it's a worksheet that you want everybody to fill out. Maybe you're saying, hey class, I want you all to grade yourself on how well you did meeting the expectations of the email assignment. That's what this assignment is. You go and you click share, get the shareable link. Okay, anyone at Andover Public Schools, it does not recognize our students. It's only going to recognize our staff. So you have to change this, and I always just put it as anyone with the link. And if I want my students to only be able to look at it, then it's view or comment or edit. Okay, I'm going to say edit on this, and then I'm going to show you a trick to give every student their own copy of it so they're not all just messing with your original. So you're going to say save. Then you're going to copy the link, and you have to say done or it's not going to save it. And I'm going to give my students this link. If you look in this link and you find where it says edit, if you change that to say copy, then when you give students this link, because you switched edit to copy, each student's going to get their own copy of this document. So it's like in the classroom where I was able to say give each student a copy of this assignment. If you just go in and you switch edit to copy in this link, each student's going to get their own copy of whatever assignment. So classes that I still have hosted in Connexus, but I want kids using Docs, I just give them the share link and it change that edit to copy, and each student gets their own copy of the worksheet so they're not messing with my original. Okay, that is just a little helpful hint. If you are working in a document with a student, so one reason I love Docs is because I can get on the phone with a kid and I can say, hey, let's go down to paragraph 2. Do you see where I am clicked at? Okay, you'll want to make sure first that the student is in the doc with you and you can see their little color tile up here. But then they can see where you're clicked and you can, highlight and walk through, and I can have students while we're on the phone. I can be writing, they can be writing, we can be having a discussion, we can be building their work and making it stronger together on the phone. And so it's just really a great way to be able to work with students, even sometimes if they're in the cafe and I'm at my desk and I'm maybe in the middle of grading, but I'll have a kid email me and say, hey, can you hop onto my doc? And they'll send me a link and I'll get over there and I left a comment, I'm kind of confused, and then I can hop over and comment without walking over to them, or if they're at home, we can still work together on stuff and they can get faster feedback from me, because in Docs we can work together as long as they give me a sharing link. There is a video that walks students through how to give your teachers the proper sharing link. We've got that in that sharing Google Docs. You can take that video and give it to your students all you want, because they will need it as a reminder pretty regularly. So if you want them to have a copy, you just need to change this edit to copy, but you have to make sure you have all the settings properly done so that it says anyone with the link and then can edit, and then you just copy this link, say done. You can email it out to your students if you want to, but I just give them the link instead. One thing about comments is that if you are leaving comments in a student's document, and then they resolve the comments because they've made changes and you don't want an email every time a student resolves something, you can go in and you can turn off so you won't get any notifications. The bummer about this is you have to do it document by document. So if it's just one kid who is like comment crazy, you can go in and turn it off, but unfortunately there's not a way to mass change that. So those are just a few basics on kind of the teacher side of docs. I've got some other cool tricks I'm going to walk you through in the other video, but if you have any questions on this stuff, let me know.